Welcome back to Rune Walking in Modern Times. I'm Ken, Rune Walker, author of my book, I guess. What else would I author? Rune Walker and Shaman of the Northern Traditions. Today's episode is going to be finishing up our exploration of the 3 skills that are necessary for us to engage with next year in a way that is going to be productive is a good word. If you missed the first 2 episodes, go back. They're just the last 2 here. Episode 809 and 810. Today, this is my 3rd time recording. And I'm going to tell you that every time I dive in, it's not correct. And now let me tell you why. I pulled runes for these skills back in October. This one feels a bit like I'm somehow missing it. Now, I've decided that I'm going to let those runes go, and I'm going to pull new runes asking asking to be shown this 3rd skill that will help us for next year. So, bear with me as we pull runes. Okay. The rune I pulled was Berkana. Let's start there. Berkana is feels like it's along the same thread as the runes I had pulled previously, but it feels a bit more solid. It feels like I couldn't have done these. I could not have done these episodes until now because things needed to be worked out a bit more, I think is a good way to put it. So Berkana is the rune of the mother, growth, nurturing, and discernment. The poem. We cannot fathom the title mother without love woven into it. Yes, without it, yet without it, it must be. Culling and nurturing, these are not love. They are nature. They are survival. Our survival, your survival, my survival. If you don't have it, you can still get it. Amazon. Or your local bookstore, you can ask them to get it for you. And they can. To clarify and drill down a bit more on Berkana, let's pull. Wunyo. Wunyo's come up a lot lately, and I'm there may be. I think I have a big Wunyo project coming this year, for sure. It's definitely about. It's probably the next book actually, and it's been on the table for a little bit. Wunyo is joy, light, the higher self. Yeah, I rolled my eyes. And alignment. Now, the poem. Reach down to go higher. You are deity, connected, joy, madness, ecstasy, life, able to receive. Where is your antenna? When we have alignment, we're able to better make decisions, discernment between what we should carry and care for and cull and be done with. Let's do one more rune, and then I'm going to bring up the other 3 runes because they tie in. Laguz. Laguz is a rune of water, or the rune of water for us. Maybe one day I'll actually have the page numbers memorized. Laguz, flow, water. I do connect it to energy work more modernly in that term. So, the poem. Body, flow. Container, contained. Shifting through the cracks, crevices, valleys of bodies, celestial, terrestrial, movement. Constant, damned, but not forever. I step into the stream to catch a thread. Never the same moment twice. Yeah, that's the whole next book. Better get to work. So, can't make this shit up. Now, the skill talked about here is about making good decisions. And let me give you the easiest example possible for me. If I am hangry, there is no making a good decision. If I am tired, if I am overworked, there is no making a good decision. Now, when we're aligned, when we're experiencing Wunyo, joy, this alignment that allows all of our parts to be in alignment, working together, and experiencing that flow, that's when we're able to make good decisions. So we're not looking for happiness. And when I say joy, that's probably not the best word. The best word is aligned. Going to the Laguz poem. When you step into a stream, you'll never experience that same step again. So, balance and joy are not static places. From 1 minute to the next, from 1 hour to the next, from 1 day to the next, you're going to experience different streams. And when you step into them, you're going to need to reevaluate, you're going to need to realign, you're going to have to become an expert at yourself and how to get yourself into alignment so that you can make the decisions that you need to make, because that's what keeps you in alignment. So the funny thing about all of this is that the runes I pulled a month ago, over a month ago, were Othala, Gabo, and Thurazaz. So Othala, Otila being grounded, my person, my being, my family, ancestral. Gabo equal balance and reciprocity. Thurazaz, endings, deconstruction, those type of things. They fit right along with this. This message was easier and is a little more specific. Now, I'll tell you that the cards also make better sense. So I pulled a card from the Woodland Wardens deck, which is a new deck I just bought, that jumped into my hands and had to come home with me. And the card I pulled is the crow and the dogwood, which signifies intelligence. Now, I'll read it to you real quick. The crow is an incredibly intelligent bird associated with the power of foresight and ability to see, ability to use tools. Today, it's often used to signify darkness or foreboding, but modern depictions rarely do the crow justice. This is also interesting why it came up. Ready? According to Norse folklore, this deck is not about Norse or Anglo-Saxon or anything. It's about animals and plants. According to Norse folklore, the crow is a powerfully positive symbol meant to remind us of our skills and resources. It says you are capable of solving any problem. Like the crow, the dogwood has a somewhat confused public image. Its beautiful light-colored petals convey gentleness and whimsy. Few know that its hard bark and strong frame make it an uncommonly durable tree, able to withstand even the harshest conditions. So, you have the tools inside of you. Now, I'm going to read. This is funny. I'm going to read. They give you an upright or a reversed, but I want to read this because I think this applies. In the reverse, you may feel like a fraud or imposter. The crow is here to remind you of your intelligence, the dogwood, your strength. Your accomplishments are your own, and you deserve the success you've achieved. I think that's important to remember. Also, if it's in the upright, you have the tools to fulfill your goals and solve any problem that stands in your way. You need only look inward to find wisdom and strength. Wunyo, alignment, inward, making sure I'm aligned. We're all aligned inside of here. Taking things as they come, right? Realigning no matter where we're at. So I thought that was great. The other card, I kept going. The other card I pulled was the Eight of Cups from the Giant's Tarot. The Eight of Cups is represented by Un, or Un. Un is the Undine, whose power, Undine, by the way, is one of the ocean sisters, whose power is that of time, and she looks back and forth along the threads of time and talks often to the moon. Dreamy and abstract, she counts numbers and days and sometimes ascetically shuns the ordinary parts of living. Her card, the Eight of Cups, signifies a time when the querent is rejecting many of the things that they have valued and that have occupied their time up until now, turning toward a future that they would not have thought possible or desirable before. Things feel finished, at least for the moment, but this is a quiet transition, perhaps only to a new unseen path. Reversed, this card indicates turning back to things undone in the past and things that one had thought was done with, and finding there is still much to learn. Now, in that respect, I feel like it's not about going back because we have things to learn necessarily, but it's about allowing those things that are still there to come to completion. I think we've all felt it for quite a while. A shifting in ourselves, a shifting in our own knowing, in our own kennas, in the way we see and interact with the world. Today, our last skill is going to be self-mastery in terms of aligning myself. Things that quickly pull you out of alignment, uh, you will begin to notice, and you will begin to not allow them to pull you out of alignment, and you won't do them. We need to do that. And things that pull me out of alignment, I shouldn't even say that. It's about finding alignment in every situation that we're in. So I'm home right now. What is my alignment? And it's not even just home, but yes, I've got to do laundry and dishes and those things that are maybe the mundane, but those are going to all be completely applicable to me being in alignment here. I'm getting hungry. I'm going to have to fix food in just a little bit. The more things that we think, the more plates we're spinning in the air on those, like at the circus, um, the harder it is to be aligned. And allowing some of them to drop and crash actually shows us that they're not part of us being aligned. Yes. There's a whole book coming about this. So, um, these 3 episodes have also shown me what my next steps are. What are yours? To review, step number 1, navigating the liminal, navigating the space in between, navigating the things that are not black and white, the things that are not good and bad, that pulling ourselves out of the binary. Skill number 2, learning to communicate not just in the language of trade, but in the language of intimacy, of nuance. 3, alignment for ourselves, alignment for being able to align ourselves and make decisions from that place versus being out of alignment. Uh, Again, if I'm hungry, no, not happening. I think I would like to share with you from the book Waking the Dragons, Norse Myth, Runes, and Magic by Andreas Cornwall. This really beautiful way of talking about language. Mythos and logos. In ancient Greece, logos was the objective language, the non-personal. You presented it in court with facts and figures. The evidence-based language. Logos was the peer-reviewed essay, the analysis, the laboratory, the bookkeeping. Since that time, and as a heritage from ancient Greece and the influence of the Enlightenment period, our Western society presents logos as the main and only viable description of reality and truth, a reality and truth that can be calculated and quantified. But is this language enough? Is science enough to explain your feelings when you look into the eyes of the person you love? The anathema of logos is mythos. It is subjective, the personal, the oral story, the poetry. Mythos speaks of eagles carrying golden keys and of the earth being created in 7 days. It speaks of gods riding through the rainbow bridge. Mythos doesn't only see the sun, but an entire golden chariot driven by the sun goddess Sol, riding across the sky. Her horses are on fire as she rises from the gates of the east. Both mythos and logos are necessary in order to attain philosophical knowledge and wisdom. This next line is my favorite quote right now. Maybe ever. We'll see. Top 10 for sure. The laboratory of science and the one of alchemy can live side by side. One using acids and bases, the other, this is so good, the other, the spilled ink of the poet. Good book. This is good. Now, I wanted to share that with you because I feel, well, it made me feel. I loved it. It moved me. And I do feel like it applies to the things we're talking about now. When we know what our goal is and when we're aligned with that, there are no hard decisions. There aren't. May your weird be filled with health, wealth, strength, and virility.